Hello out there. Welcome to my kitchen this morning. We are going to be making 2 dairy-free milks in under 5 minutes. So I can't wait to get started on that with you guys today. I'm live on Facebook as well as Instagram. So if you see me shifting eyes back and forth, that's why. I'm not being weird, though sometimes I am, and that's okay too. But my name is Heather Woodruff, and I am a certified nutritional practitioner and digestion guru, and I support women to live wild and IBS free, so through deep digestive healing, so they can stop just managing their digestive issues and actually start healing and moving towards a life without it, where it's not consuming their day to day. So the reason why we're doing dairy-free milks today is that 75% of the world's population actually doesn't tolerate dairy very well at all. It is something that can be really tough on our digestive tract. I've seen it also present in skin issues in many of my clients, including myself back in the day when it was something that was an issue for me. So it's definitely, we want to find some alternatives and explore a world without dairy, just to give us some more options. And perhaps this might be one of your IBS triggers that you haven't really figured out yet. So that's why we're making this today, making our dairy-free milks today. So along with seeing clients one-on-one, I'm also the host of the Natural IBS support group, which is a Facebook group over on Facebook. So if you would like to join that or check that out, definitely go over, the link is in the description of this Facebook Live or over in my bio over on Instagram. So go check out that group, the Natural IBS support group over on Facebook. It's amazing. We got some pretty incredible women in there and lots of daily support and tips to get you going on your IBS or gut healing journey. So along with that, I'm going to kind of get started. So we're going to be making 2 super easy milks. And I'm also a mama to a toddler, so I need to keep things super easy, super fast, and especially if I'm busy in the morning, these are kind of my 2 go-tos that I do. And the first one we're going to do today is hemp milk. And the reason why I encourage people to do homemade milks as opposed to store-bought ones is that there's honestly maybe a couple of brands out there that I actually really know and trust that in terms of their ingredients that aren't going to cause further inflammation in the body and the tummy. So people always ask me like, oh, what's a good almond milk? What's a good coconut milk that I can buy in the grocery store? There's honestly 1 or 2, which I'll go over at the end of this live video. But to be perfectly honest, there's a couple and that's it. So this is why I constantly encourage people to make their own, and it's not, that sounds really overwhelming and complicated, but it's actually super easy, especially this hemp milk that we're going to start with today. And both of these recipes that I'm going to make today are over at heatherwoodruffnutrition.com. So if you want to go over there and check them out, you can. So the first one is hemp milk, and the ratio for hemp milk, depending on how much you want, is going to be about a 1-to-4 ratio. So I'm going to make about a cup of hemp milk for us today, just to show a little bit. And so what that means is I have a cup of water and about a 1/4 cup of hemp seeds. And hemp seeds are pretty amazing when it comes to digestive wellness and well-being. They're actually pretty high in magnesium, so if you have constipation, this can be something to help relax and get things moving. They've also got a pretty healthy amount of iron in them, as well as zinc, and zinc is awesome for healing the digestive tract. So the amount of fiber in these is definitely on the lower side. So constipation, it's good because of that magnesium that I was talking about. But because it's a bit lower on the fiber, it also can be really nice for people that tend to have softer stools or tend towards diarrhea and things like that. People that have lots and lots of diarrhea and soft stools, I tend to get them to ease up on their fiber for a little bit of time so we can kind of get to the root and just not irritate the gut too much, because there's something else kind of going on there. Fiber is amazing, but with kind of a more softer stool and diarrhea, we kind of want to ease up on it a little bit and just go gentle with the fiber for a period of time to allow for that inflammation to ease up a little bit. So we are going to grab some hemp seeds here. I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup into a cup of water. Oop. Pop that in our good old blender, and you do not need a fancy $1 million blender. This is definitely just like an Oster one. And I used what is like Magic Bullet for years. So honestly, it does not need to be anything fancy. Do with what you have. And I hope this isn't going to be too loud. I'll just blend it for a second to kind of show you. And normally I probably blend this for like a good minute or two, or a good minute. But essentially, that is hemp milk. That's it. That there is, hey, I see some people popping on there. That's hemp milk, and I said in under 5 minutes. You could probably make both of these dairy-free milks in like combined total under 5 minutes. But that is hemp milk. You could strain it if you want to, but I honestly find it doesn't even need it. I'll take a minute and just blend it, make sure it's like good and nice and creamy, and that's our hemp milk, which is so ridiculously easy. You could store it in the fridge for a day or two. I find it's best fresh. And on heatherwoodruffnutrition.com, there's the recipe for this on there, but it's in the version of our chocolate or strawberry hemp milk. So it's called hemp milk 2 ways. So I love making this into a strawberry hemp milk. I put some strawberries in it, add a little bit of honey, maybe some vanilla, and just drink it. And I think it's amazing. It's so good. But it also can be great as a base in a smoothie. I don't tend to cook with like a hemp milk because I find that the oils in it are quite sensitive, and so we want to make sure that this is something that we kind of have more raw or in a smoothie, or just drink it as like a hemp milk is kind of what I was saying. So awesome. If anyone's ever tried hemp milk or have other ways that they use it, I'd love for you to comment below and let me know what you love to use hemp milk for, or if it's something you want to try as well and replace in something that you already have, that you're already using. It's an awesome little replacement to our dairy too. So I'm going to just, before we get into our next milk, I'm just going to grab a bowl. I'm going to reuse my blender, and I'm just going to dump the hemp milk in here. And I'm going to use it later. I'll probably make some strawberry hemp milk, to be perfectly honest. So what we're going to do next is we are going to make a coconut milk. And I love coconut milk. This is probably one of my absolute favorite milks. I did do a teeny bit of prep beforehand. Oh, I'm going to have to hold this up, I think, for Facebook. But what I did, the ratio for coconut milk is about a 1-to-2 ratio. So we use about 1 cup of coconut milk to 2 cups of water. It's kind of like the deal, depending on how much you want to make. And again, this recipe can be found over on heatherwoodruffnutrition.com. So what I did is I boiled some water, and I boiled 2 cups of water, and I added it to a cup of dried coconut. And it's just straight up dried coconut that you can find in every single grocery store on the planet. I just make sure that it is sugar-free. There should be absolutely no sugar in it. The only ingredient that should be on that package list should be coconut. Even if it says natural flavors, natural sweet, whatever, you keep it out. I tend to buy organic with this because I find it not that much of a price difference. And this ensures that you're also not getting any sulfites or any sort of preservatives in it as well. So that's kind of what I use and purchase, and is obviously quite easy to find. So we let that soak, the coconut with the coconut or with the hot water, and I just put a plate over this bowl and I just cover it, and I did it quickly this morning while I was cleaning up dishes, and went down and did some work, and then came back up, and it's all ready to go. It's at room temperature now. It just allows the boiling water to kind of go in and soften up the dried coconut, so you can extract as much as you can out of that, out of the coconut itself, the dried coconut. So I'm going to make a huge attempt here not to spill this on myself. This is something that I'm kind of a klutz in the kitchen. Ask my husband, he usually cleans up after me. I did it. I'm so proud of myself. So that's what it kind of looks like unblended. We have our dried coconut in with our water, and then pop the lid on, and then we blend it again. And again, if we were not live here at this exact moment, I would probably go and blend for a good couple of minutes, depending on the quality of blender you have too. Some people, if you have the big fancy Blend Tech blenders, or I'm totally drawing a blank on that other one that people get, NutriBullet or something. Anyway, there's a couple of big fancy ones out there. You may be able to do it in like probably 30 seconds or less, but definitely give it a couple minutes to really go through. I'll run that one more time and go through. But for time's sake, I'm going to go pretty easy and quick with this right now, just to make sure we kind of get through it. So here is our coconut. I'm going to pour it right through. And what I'm using here is that I just have it in one of these big Pyrex measuring cups, because I find it works really easily. And I have something here called a nutmeg. And you can buy these actually pretty easily in like most grocery stores. I think I actually saw them at Safeway the other day, to be perfectly honest. But you can get them at Whole Foods or any of the health foodie kind of type stores. Pop in and ask for nutmegs, and they're really easy to come by. If you have like a mesh strainer, let's see if I have it down here. If you have a mesh strainer, this will work too. It's just a lot easier with one of these like mesh bags. So if you're end up going to do it on a regular basis, I'd highly recommend grabbing one of these. But you could do it through this and just make sure to really push and extract it to get it out, if that makes sense. And one of the reasons why I love coconut milk in particular for gut healing is that we have a lot of gut healing benefits in coconut. It's super easy to digest. There's lots of antimicrobial properties in it, and caprylic acid, which helps to rebalance out the microbiome within our guts. We have good bacteria, we have bad bacteria living within our digestive tract all the time, mostly in our colon. And we want to keep that balance with a lot more good bacteria than bad bacteria. And this has so many health benefits, and almost everyone, I'm gonna be very bold and say pretty much everyone that has IBS or constant tummy issues, you more than likely have an imbalance of that gut and bad bacteria, whether that's causing your digestive issues or your digestive issues have now led to that. It's something that we will have to keep on our minds at all times, to making sure that we're trying to keep that or rebalance that out. So having coconut products or coconut milk on a regular basis is a really great way to do that. So I'm gonna pour the coconut goop, my very technical term, and I make sure I get all of the coconut out of here. And I kind of just tighten it and end up squeezing it right out. And you can really see, I hope everyone can see that on the videos, the amazing coconut goodness that's coming out of there right now. And I'll definitely, I think after this video, probably throw it back into the blender and blend it a little bit, just because I know it gets a lot creamier. But that's essentially what it looks like and is ready to go. So again, I did a lot of chit-chatting in the midst there, but we could definitely have made those two milks in under 5 minutes for sure. And the coconut milk does store in the fridge a lot easier, or a little bit longer. I would say you got a good 4 to 5 days with this stuff in the fridge, covered obviously, and that's something that can be kept a lot longer, which is really nice. I've never tried to freeze it, but it could be something interesting. And coconut milk is great for heat cooking. So if you wanted to do a creamy soup or something along those lines, add it to your tea or coffee. Some people really like it. Some people find that weird, but I personally think it would be delicious with a chai tea. So it's something that's great heated up, whereas, as I said, the hemp milk is something I'd have more cold or raw or at room temperature. I wouldn't heat that up because it's very damaging to the oils in it. So what else do I want to say about coconut milk? I use it often in, what do I use it often? I make chia pudding, which maybe we'll do a cooking demo on that in the next one go around, as well as in my smoothies. I kind of keep 1 or 2 of these on hand at any one given time for some yummy smoothies going on. So, and those are our 2 amazing dairy-free milks that I very much encourage you to go check out. Again, both those recipes can be found over on heatherwoodruffnutrition.com. And as well, if you like this cooking demo, I do have some more that are going to be going up over on the Natural IBS Support Facebook group, which the link is, if you're watching on Facebook, it is in the description of this video. And if you're watching on Instagram, it's over on my bio. So definitely go click on that link and join our amazing tribe of beautiful, wild, free-spirited women who are looking to truly heal their earth, which is what I love to call our digestion. I feel like we cannot live and function and prosper without our earth, our digestion just being optimal, and we feel it in all other areas of our body, whether that be depression and anxiety and our energy levels. We see it in our skin. So our hormones and everything. There's so many ways that this, oops, just